know I have to make sure that all is well, because so I don't give the PNC people to criticize me on. Like I said, listen to the talks of the people and live above it. Criticisms is good, but how you manage criticism, that's what matters. People can say what they want about you. Some of it might be speculation. Some of it might be an idea they have. Some might be true. And most are just fabrication. You have to know which of the rumors or statements about you respond to or you own. But people will say what they have to say. Listen to the talks of the people and rise above it or live above it. That is something that politicians don't have. The ability to rise above the criticisms of the people. They don't have that. You know why? Because they lack morals. Politicians lack morals. There's something about people when they become politicians. It seems as though when they take the oath of a party and they are officially identified or labeled as a politician, that instant, the morals goes through the window, not even the door. If it goes through the door, you would think, okay, well, but it just escaped like a thief through the window, their morals. I don't know what happens to these guys. Today, they're wonderful, they're decent, they're honest, they're law-abiding citizens, they're humble, they're generous and kind, and they treat their wives well, they treat their kids well. And from the time they get a position, be it permanent secretary, be it director, but from the time they are allocated some amount of power that are complement to the party to which they are assigned to, these people change. You wouldn't think that yesterday that was the guy that you hung out with. Today he got a position and it's like, what the fuck? Where is the guy I met yesterday? Where is the guy I knew growing up? Morals through the window. They never listen to what people are saying and try to rise above it and try to not give people things to talk about. It seems like they like the negative attention. They like the negative energy that keeps coming towards their way. That's what they propel. That's what propels them. But you must understand how energies work. Anybody who has to survive on the agony, on the cries, on the pain, on the constant nagging and complaints from other people, that person is demonic. Only demon-possessed people requires negativity to stay alive or to be consistent. People who are of high morals, godly people, can't stand it. That will kill them. It will do the opposite to them. So they, the godly people, always need to know that they live according to the right standards of humanity, of morals, of whatever religion they endorse, because it's about positivity coming their way, constantly coming their way. They must breathe positivity. They must sleep positivity. They must eat positivity. They must embrace positivity. That's what godly people, and I'm talking godly as in you go to church every day. I ain't talking godly as you have to pray 10 times a day. No. Godly people is that you want the best for the other man as you would have yourself. You don't take more than you can manage. You leave some so that other people can also partake. That is being godly. You don't take and then you distribute. You take as much as you can handle. And I'm talking food. If you know you can eat 1 pint of rice, take 1 pint of rice. But don't take a whole fucking gallon of rice and you can only consume 1 pint. Godly people will take 1 pint and leave the rest for the other persons who are there waiting to get their share. That's godly people. And politicians don't have the capacity. It is not written in their DNA. It was deleted from their system, drained from their blood, emptied from their conscience, the ability to eat as much as their stomach can take. No. Therefore, to the rest of the Guyanese audience and my international viewers, from me to you, eat as much as your stomach can take and leave the rest for the others who are hungry, just like you were. Don't take it and then you share it. It's not your position to share it. It's your position to take as much as you can eat and walk away. Let the other persons do the same. My monologue to you. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I'm not beating around the bush now. I'm getting to the fucking point. I don't believe it. Now I have some time to tell you why. So you know. Now is a good time for you to switch. Because the rest of the things I have to say, you wouldn't like it. Now, Guyanese, I'm not here to divide a people. I had this epiphany again after what happened a few days ago, that terrorist bombing. I had an epiphany. And it has a lot to do with that little child. Yeah. She was happy. She left her home with her family, the people that she trusted. They were in the safety of their car. She was all excited because of the excitement of tasting the KFC. You know, children and all these fast food things, they're all, girls especially, girl children, they're all excited. They wear their best clothing. Mommy just bought her slippers, bought a nice ring for her, a nice shade. So she's excited to wear that because she wants to go out and look fine. She wants to look cute. So she would have been through all of that and excited to just eat this KFC. That child was incapable of thinking of possible danger. That would never cross her mind. She wouldn't be thinking about danger of some child molester, danger of some criminal. No, because she felt safe amongst her grown relatives. She felt safe in the security and safety of a car, a vehicle. She felt safe with the person who was driving the vehicle because they would have done that many times. There was no possibility in the child's mind that that could have been her last, that she couldn't even get the chance to taste the KFC for the last time. That didn't cross her mind because it wasn't possible. How can you explain to such a person, because children are people, how can you tell such a person that it was her time to go? How can you tell such a child that, listen, when you reach the age of 7 or 8, whatever age, you would encounter this strategy, which will take your life. But be comforted that it's God's will. God's will. God wants you home early. So God is going to subject you to a dangerous criminal and take your life by this explosion, this cruel way. You will go out because it's God's will. How can you tell a child that? So the child is living every day with the idea that any day now, because of what you would have told them. Who the fuck does that? Nobody does that. Not even the criminals who murder people give themselves a sentence to a specific time when the cops will get them and kill them, or somebody will get retribution. Not even the criminals do that. Nobody prophesy or predict or have this insight or intuition that tomorrow they'll die. Nobody. So fathom what I'm getting at here. Fathom what I'm getting at here. There is nothing written in no book anywhere. There is nothing written in no book anywhere. And whenever I hear people say things like, if an infant died at a certain age, if a this died, oh, it was God's will. I want to tell those people, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. It is never any God's will for any child, infant, anyone who has not lived to 70 to go early. It's not God's will. Especially not children. Especially not children. They expect society to protect them. And in this child's case, her family had protected her. It was society that murdered her. Society murdered her. So get that in your brain for those of you who may have some issues with what I'm about to say. The vulnerable citizens of Guyana. The vulnerable citizens of Guyana are the voters. Are the voters. They're the vulnerable ones. I want to stress what I've said before. If these people had achieved their objective to have that bomb got to its target to ignite, everyone within a few mile radius would have been casualty. Everyone, buildings, people, animals, name it, they would all have been consumed with the blast and the aftermath of the blast. Everyone, which includes all ethnicity who would have found themselves there, rich and poor, government and free. Everyone who would have been in that vicinity if that bomb had achieved its objective. A minister could have been driving by. As a matter of fact, a minister family could have been going to that KFC there and been a victim of that blast. Anybody could have been subjected to that. That targeted Guyanese. Okay? The people who suffered are Guyanese, not just the child who died. Adults also suffered. So there is no list as to, oh, let's identify, let's take out these kinds of. No, 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 no. Bear that in mind. This ain't a game. I'm not here to be politically correct. I don't work for the government. I repeat, I, Dr. Prasad, don't work for the government, meaning the Irfan Ali government. I don't. I have no obligation to cover up anything for the government, to speak on behalf of the government, to convince. I have no fucking obligations to do that. And I wouldn't. Because at the end of the day, the people who are vulnerable are the Guyanese, the average, normal Guyanese citizen, not government official. They drive around the whole fucking day with bodyguards, with big guns, some of them bulletproof vehicles. They're well secured. They live in gated communities. If they have to go somewhere, they go and they scout the area first to make sure it's safe. So I'm not speaking for them. I'm not speaking on behalf of them. My concern is that Guyanese children, Guyanese women, and the decent men of Guyana continue to exist in peace and safety because they deserve it. They deserve it. And anybody who keeps putting that nation at risk, we need to call them out. There are a lot of stuff I did in the past that I'm regretting. And I'm being quite honest with you and frank. There are a lot of shit I said in the past that I am regretting. So you know. No more. I'm done with that shit. For what I'm seeing happening, all the fucking politics, all the politicking, all the gibberish and fucking garbage, I am regretting it. Because I'm not the simpleton. I'm not a pea brain. I'm not the average person that you can just say any shit to and they absorb it, they suck it in. And I'm not playing the race baiting shit. I have nothing to gain from doing that. Nothing to gain from doing that. I'm not into that. So if I give my opinion on an issue, it's exactly how I feel. I don't give a shit who is offended. Fuck them. I'm giving my opinion based on my intelligent assumption on an issue. I don't give a shit who is offended. Fuck you if you are offended. I don't give a shit. Because at the end of the day, it is the Guyanese, the average Guyanese citizen, who suffers. All right? This ain't the Bornum time, where people have to shut up and suck up and take whatever the regime tells them. This ain't that time. This is the age of intelligence. This is the age where people have access to information. They can think for themselves. People have realized, Guyanese have realized, that thinking, forming an opinion, doing self-investigation is free. And they can do that quietly within their own space and privacy. Guyanese realize that that shit is free. You don't have to pay for that. You don't have to tell somebody else what you are busy with in your mind. So Guyanese are actively thinking, This is a time in the history of the nation where Guyanese are thinking, they're using their mind. Because we live in a different time now. Enough with the bullshit. Let me pause here to acknowledge something. When I did my broadcast on the issue last week about the shooting at Vredenhoek with a businessman and the police, I gave my opinion based on the information that was available to me at the time. Visual information and theoretical information. I gave my view. However, I have since seen a CCTV footage, like I have acknowledged in my previous videos, that if there is footage from the shop, because I went on the basis that it was said that a policeman was physically abusive to the shop owner. That information I went on. I spoke based on that information from a credible source. Video is credible, and that was not AI generated. The video I saw, the CCTV footage that all of you saw, many of you saw that, right? You saw it. That wasn't AI. That is two persons back and forth arguing. The shop owner, the owner of the shop, the first disgusting thing is on the side of the shop owner, the man who murdered him. You are busy cleaning your shop. Wouldn't it be normal to do that before you open to the public? You're dressed with just a pants and you look like you just woke up. You're sweeping and cleaning your shop. Close the fucking door. You're not ready to serve customers yet. You're busy doing your stuff. You may have had a bad night. You may have been fighting with your wife or whatever it is, whatever issues you may have had. Calm down. Clean your shop. Properly attire yourself. Then you put your open sign. Customers can come in. For what it seems, the man was busy cleaning his shop and the doors were open, and this customer walked in. Well, the shop is open, to confront the man regarding the telephone. The only piece that was available is the escalated piece, the piece from where the whole row started. That is not the beginning of the video. This thing can't escalate in less than 5 seconds to murder. There is longer footage. But from the last piece, they cut, whatever it is, the last piece, that was not an edited piece. It just flowed. It just flowed. The shop owner, the person who was behind the counter, is 100% wrong. Wrong. Okay? 100% wrong. One, somebody comes into your store to return an item for whatever reason. You don't raise your voice at them. The customer is always correct. You don't raise your voice on customers, especially not in situations like that. You are the shop owner. Your place is to stay calm and call the cops if you have to. But the position of that shop owner, he escalated the situation. He was way out of line. The way he responded to an angry customer was way out of line. That's fucking ghetto. That is ghetto as in the lowest form of ghetto. And he was a thug. That's a scrape. That shop owner, that is a scrape. That attitude, that language, the way he deal with a customer, that's a scrape. Ain't nothing professional about him. Ain't nothing decent. That was way out of line. And he distinctly said to the man, who now we know as a police officer, I'm going to send you where you don't want to go, something like that. Police officer understood that to mean the police station. He thought the man was talking about sending him to the police station because he repeated about the police station. But the man was making, before that lunatic, that evil fucking demonic shop owner, before he took the weapon, which was already cranked, before he took his weapon, he told the police, the customer rather, I'm going to, he said, keep on. I'm going to send you. He told him he's going to murder him. Had the man understood, had that individual understood that that's what the man meant, that if he continue, he's going to kill him, the man would have stopped. It's a threat. The police would have stopped and then probably would have said, hey, I'm a police officer, you're under arrest for threatening. But he thought the man meant police station because you heard it distinctly. You heard it distinctly in the video. He thought the man meant, I'm going to send you to the police station. But the man meant, I'm going to kill you. That's what he meant. Because subsequently after that, when the man took something and threw it at the maybe some paper, whatever it is, and threw it at the shop owner, he reached for his gun, bam. He didn't reach for the gun and threaten. In his mind, he knew he's going to murder this person. There was nothing peaceful about it. There was nothing to reconcile or nothing about it. The whole intent, the man was intended to kill somebody. And he did it. Took his gun, one shot with the intent to kill. So I'm saying now, based on that evidence, that fucking loser should be hanged. That shop owner should be hanged until he's dead. That was cold-blooded murder. Cold-blooded murder. I've seen worse. And never. The most people do is threaten. But that was bitterness. That was, look. That tone from the shop owner towards that man, that seemed like people who hated each other, as in hated. They hated each other. Now the shop owner, the policeman, I wouldn't say that he hated the shop owner, because if he hated the shop owner, he wouldn't go by his phone there. If he had hatred or racism in his heart, he would not have gone and given his money to a man that he hated or is racial against. No, he won't do that. He went to buy a phone. The way the shop owner dealt with him, the tone, the aggression, the time factor in how this thing happened, that's fucking racial. You want to know racism? That is what I saw on the video. That is the typical racism from the shop owner. And I ain't fucking standing with that. I am not promoting it. I'm not endorsing it. None of that shit. Because when it comes to your business, unless it's a viable threat of robbery, unless your life is being challenged here, you pull your weapon, or you make it clear that I am armed, you do all of that to give the persons the time to back off. But that aggression, that bitterness, that anger, that's racism. to a customer that purchased your item, I want him to get the death penalty. Period. I ain't standing with that shit. You kill criminals. Criminals who kill people, you kill them. If people go into your store with guns to kill you and you have the opportunity to do it first, yes, go ahead. There is a limit to these things. Absolutely clear. I'm not condoning that. I know what I condone, but that shit I'm not condoning. Now, moving on. If the police were not certain about the identity of this terrorist, this Venezuelan terrorist, and when the first time they bring this breaking news on Facebook, the police's page, I shared it and I commented, Venezuelan. Before anything, before any investigation, before anything, I said Venezuelan. That's a Venezuelan. I'm not in the force. Your common sense could tell you. All the chit chat and this news and that thing, they're just giving suggestions. Oh, Spanish speaking. Oh, Spanish speaking. Oh, Spanish speaking. Now, when they think they catch the guy, now they're saying Venezuelan. All that theatrics. You need to be certain that it was what you think it was. Brazilians speak Portuguese. You want to say it was a Cuban? How many Cubans are there in Guyana? The people that are in Guyana, largely that speak Spanish, are from one country, Venezuela. All of them are scripts and scraps. This is not something you need a genius to figure this out. You know it's Venezuelan from the beginning. Now, if you weren't certain about the identity of this individual, why the fuck did you post it? Why did you give an AI, as you said, enhanced? AI enhanced image of the alleged mastermind. But when you catch the person you say is the real person, it's nothing like the person you push first. Absolutely, it's like four people. Four different people who happen to be the one suspect. I want to know if they all share the same DNA. It's possible. Maybe they're quadruplets. Four of them. They're not identical, but they just happen to be the same person. If you're desperate to solve this crime, I can understand. You want to show that the police are busy. You want to show that, you know, we have this sophistication. You want to show, I get it. But come on, man. Are we that dumb? At least I think I'm a bit smarter than that. Are we that stupid? That within days, you're going to find the actual killer, terrorist, conveniently, no resistance, tips and tips and tips and tips and tips. The inconsistencies is amazing. And everybody who seemed to be on par or who seemed to be on the side politically, on the political side of the government, are pushing this, running to push this. It's like just slaves, slaves to the narrative. It's like, whatever you say, Massa, okay, that's it, then fine. Yeah, that's it. I don't want to engage my mind and spend time worrying about this. No, if you say that's it, then that's it. I won't question it. Case closed. Problem solved. Bravo. Ah, I'm not the type. You kind of know that, right? I have no master. I am my own master. This is not a default thing with Dr. Prasad. It's not a default thing that because I slaved, yes, slaved massively before the elections, used everything I have within my capacity, and helped to raise the PPP to the victory that they secured. It meant that I would continue along that path blindly without questioning anything. No. I gave them free service. That's what it came down to. But I serve the people. I don't President Ali or whoever else or the government. No, I serve the people. The people in the government are not PPP, they're government officials. The people in Guyana are not PPP, they're Guyanese. I serve the Guyanese people, not the government. So I'm speaking to the Guyanese people, not the government. Not because the government said that's the guy, I'm going to buy it. No, of course not. The commissioner of police was selected by the government. The minister of Home Affairs was selected by the government. The commissioner of police answers to the government, not the people. The minister of Home Affairs answers to the government, not the people. They are there to make sure the government looks good and protects the image and policies of the government. That's what the commissioner of police is for, the minister is for. That's what they're there for. To make sure nothing goes out that makes the government look incompetent or bad. But these people are hired guns. The minister and the commissioner, hired guns. And everybody under the commissioner answers to the commissioner, who answers to the government. None of them answers to the people. This is why the people have to engage their common sense, their intelligence, their common sense, because the people must understand that, listen, all the government officials went to the same schools you went to, Guyanese. From the president of Guyana to the minister of Home Affairs to the commissioner of police attended the same schools all of you attended in Guyana. In other words, it's one education system. They didn't get special information that you didn't have access to. Same thing. So they are not smarter than you. That if they tell you something, you have to accept it. Oh my gosh, they're smarter. No, they're not. You, the people, are the smart ones. Because you engage your intelligence and voted for the party you believed in. Not because the party is smart, but because you are smart. You trust your choice. So you side with the people. You think that, hey, I can dig this guy. You must bear in mind, politicians serve their party. Government officials serve the government. This is why you, the people, need to serve yourself and use your common sense. If something don't look right to you, question it. You have a right to do that. So for all you people who are on social media or whatever, wherever you are, and you're cheering on, yay, they call the in front, in your face, you can see that this didn't make sense. This don't make any sense. But you're cheering, yeah, nice. For what? Is this also a race thing? This is a race thing, eh? It's racial. So because this is allegedly an Indian government, if you question this, you're betraying your race. So because this is an Indian government, the PNC people are going to doubt it, or the opposition are going to doubt it. It always comes down to race. Because there are cases under Granger, criminal cases. PNC, when they were in the ministry, there are many cases under the PNC where the people of the PPP, including President Ali, who was then in the opposition, and Vice President Jagden, all them people, narratives from the police, from the commissioner, from the minister who was Kemraj at the time, all the people from the opposition, which would have been the PPP at the time, doubted, questioned, pushed another side to the story, accusing the PNC government to be a lie, cover up, AI, whatever it is, same fucking playbook. And now the PNC people are doing the same thing now. They do it to each other. But you, the average citizen, don't have to play politics and race on issues of national security. Use your common sense. In the situation here with this criminal, your common sense based on what they put before you, before all of us, before the world. Come on, man. Does it fucking look like your eyes? Does it look to you what they're alleging? No, it doesn't. You're telling me of all that came out of the press release from official sources, the police or the minister, you're telling me an area that is largely black or PNC or whatever it is, they cooperated by sending all this information, leading the police to wherever, when they had an opportunity to use this situation to make the government look bad, that suddenly they got good and is widely pushing leaks and pushing this and pushing. That's one. Secondly, no resistance on the side of this alleged terrorist who was capable of masterminding such an attack with some lowlifes like himself. Then you happen to get this person peacefully. The next thing that happened is that you secure the items he had on him, telephone, and in the telephone, you have all this information, all this stuff that gives more thing of this and this and that and so on, all this stuff. I mean, the terrorists, you got his telephone. They are such idiots. The terrorists, they're such idiots. You mean to put together such a bomb, to organize this thing? Still, these people don't have the capacity to understand that the only thing you have as a terrorist is a burner phone. You don't have a smartphone where you make selfies or you're browsing Facebook. I mean, come on, man. You caught the terrorist with a smartphone. The next The next idiotic thing that I felt like a fool when I had to, okay, let me listen, is that within seconds the man confessed. A terrorist who is programmed, trained, a militant, confessed, got too slapped. I mean, your kids would steal your money. You got women who would fuck their brothers, their sister's husband. I mean, you got people who would do things that are less important. And you can beat the hell out of them, they will never confess. And something as big as this, which of course the suspects understand that if they're caught, they could be killed. They're going to confess just, I mean, immediately. So if the person confesses to the crime, case closed, we don't have to look further. And on the other issue, the man, let's continue. The man said, according to the sources, the police, that he came to Guyana on a boat 3 days before, or a few days before the attack. So he came from Venezuela with this device that any disturbance can cause it to ignite via the ocean, rough terrain, all the way to Georgetown. And he allegedly was never in Guyana before. He knew exactly where to go. Common sense. So it's like he came to the country with this bomb and just walked with it in a bag like, hey, just my clothes, and sat for 2 days and scouting around the area to see which is the best location to do this. He spoke English with a Venezuelan twist. That's what they say, right? Are you serious? That's the best you can do? So the fact that he said he came in the country a few days before, and he said he did, so case closed. Nothing more to see here. Move on with your life now. Is that where we're getting now? Is that how far we're getting now? That's what politics has become. You don't want to scare the tourists. You don't want to scare the business community. You don't want to scare anything. You want to say, hey, we are capable. The Guyanese police, good. Make the government look good. Hey, according to the minister, we need to thank the government for the CCTV cameras. Oh, the government has invested in a smart city system, so we were able to track the criminal. It's all about you. It's all about you. So conveniently, you catch the criminal. Conveniently. Now you get a medal. And the man said more is coming. I'm the one who said that on my shows. I projected that. So if you're speaking after me, I get it. But those situations there, we most definitely must understand that we have to engage our common sense. I don't care who is trying to sell this as the absolute matter of fact. You should investigate them too, to see who's signing their checks. Investigate them too. Like I said before, I'm not speaking on behalf of anyone. If I see something that looks shitty, I'm going to say, hey, that looks shitty. Nobody can fire me. Nobody can threaten my contracts. So I don't have to say, well, we need to, yeah, well, no, 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 no. I don't have time for that because innocent lives were at stake. A child was murdered, and this is the third time. Guyana came under terrorism in the past few months, the third time. So no matter what you do or what you say, it will never distract the fact that these three terrorist attacks occurred under President Ali's government. Whether you say you solved the crimes after the fact, three times. Aren't we supposed to prevent crime? Not solve it, prevent it. The Minister of Home Affairs. It's about crime prevention, right? Not solving the crime. You want credit for that you solve crimes? No, my thing is don't let the crime happen. Do what you need to do to stop it, to make sure it never happens. If by chance it happens, it's unfortunate. But if it happens one time, and the one time that it happened, you identified the suspect as Venezuelans. The first time it happens. Venezuelan. What did you do? Now you're talking about registering the illegal immigrants from Venezuela, and if they refuse to be registered, you send them. What kind of fucking narrative is that, man? What nonsense is that, man? So you're saying right now you're saying prior to that deadly attack, all the Venezuelans that came in the country are roaming free. None is registered. None is tracked. You don't know where they are, who they are. That's what you're saying? They came in the country illegal, but nobody's in the system. Now you're going to be busy trying to do that after the fact that people died as a result of these people penetrating the country. And what's this thing about? You mentioned that this man said that he came in the country 3 days before so as to dispel any information or any suspicions that the rest of the Venezuelans who are in the country could be a threat. Is that a direct message to me? Because I'm the one who's saying that they're all a threat. So you're saying that he said, allegedly, that he came in the country 3 days before, which means he is not connected in any way to the Venezuelans that are already in the country. You could trust them. This guy came in the country to do that. He didn't come like the others seeking help and wanted a better life. No, he left Venezuela on Maduro's order, or he's a trendera. Well, that's what they say, right? He's a terrorist. He's a gang member, gold smuggling, whatever, all them nonsense. Just to carry that attack, political. You're not buying into my theory that it's political. You want to send a message to the Ali government and the Americans, and also you want to tell them, hey, swear that guy in. Because the fact you're mentioning gold, we're talking about the Muhammad's, right? Gold. And this, Muhammad's. Which other gold miner, which other gold dealer, as big as them in Guyana, has anything to gain from hiring Venezuelan gang members to come to the city to execute that level of crime? Which other one besides the Mohammeds? You are the one pushing that narrative towards that direction. Then if you have information that involves the Mohammeds, go get them. Go get them. What, you just want to suspend the parliament because you don't know what to do? Go get them. Don't give suggestions like a woman. Well, we have a Home Affairs minister who's a woman, so get to the point. What's up? But I don't believe it. And that is my right to doubt it. Might I say again? Might I say again? I am not speaking. This is not a government platform. I am not a government hire. I am not a friend to the president. The president don't support me. The party don't support me. I don't have to push whatever narrative comes from the government. I don't, and I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that. I am pushing narratives in my own common sense so the Guyanese people can engage their common sense and say, hey, this makes some sense. Let me look at it this way. So when the rest of you, some of you want to put your comment there that I am not talking or saying nice things about the government. What the fuck does this got to do with the government? What does this got to do with the government? It has nothing to do with the government, right? Does it? So not everything I say or everything the government does, they need to get my approval. If it is shitty, it's shitty. For example, the president of Guyana is in Dubai. Is he back? I don't know. I don't mind what was at stake. My country came under terrorist attack. I would have told the king or whoever the fuck he is, listen, buddy, listen. We got to reschedule. I got problems back home. Bye-bye. I would have cut short my trip back to my country to be there with my citizens to deal with that situation. If it was a black child or a Chinese child or an Indian child or a Caucasian child, whoever it was, I would have returned to my country to be with my citizens. It didn't have to be somebody who looked like me for me to come back to show solidarity. If it was a Guyanese citizen, I would have found my ass back in my country and be there with my citizens to let them understand that that's why they voted for me. Nothing else that happens out of Guyana is important than me serving my people. I would have been back. Yeah. And secondly, you have to dress like the Arabs, President. I mean, I know you're a Muslim, but I don't get the whole costume. I don't get the costume. I mean, what was that? What is it? Sliming? Is it sucking up? You have the oil. Guyana is booming. Guyana is on the path. So I don't see why it seems like you have to slime to those people. You have the oil. They want your oil. They should be dressing in their suits, or the Guyanese wear, than for you changing your wardrobe just to make them look good or feel comfortable. You know, that's why I don't have friends. I tell you folks, that's why I don't have friends, because there's a certain thing about me. Like when I used to frequent the president of Suriname, I mean Chan, President Santoki, he understood me. It doesn't matter what the occasion was. I always leave my house with my suit. That's me. That's who I am. My suit. And often I'm the only one who's overdressed to other people. But if they understood that, hey, that's just me being me. You can wear a t-shirt, that's you, whatever. I wear my suit, that's me. So the fact that sometimes you have to go somewhere and just walk like the Romans do, it feels like you've lost some sense of control, that you have to give up your control, surrender who you are, just so you can be accepted by those that you're maybe going to seek something from. Fuck it. I ain't that way. I'm not that way. No, 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 no. I'm not that way. Don't you see? I don't. I hardly ask people to send donations now. I hardly do it because most of the people who are they stopped. Oh, by the way, a lot of the folks who were doing it before they stopped. Why do you think they stopped? I'll expose them now. Because allegedly, before the elections, they needed me to keep on tune, to keep on my you know my talking point. They needed me to keep on that track. Keep yes, government, PPP, yeah. So they pretended that it's about me and what I do, that they want to stand by me. They pretended. Now that they have achieved what they had to achieve, it's not important. They don't see the need now to continue with their support. We already won, so. And there are the others who stopped simply because I'm questioning the government. I am making controversial points to trigger people's mind. To them, shit, I thought he was pro PPP. So no matter what the government does, he's supposed to always talk good about the government. They stopped their support. Who is the hypocrite? Who is the hypocrite? Me? I'm not pretending. I've said from the beginning, I stand with the guy and his people. And even so now, with all that's happening, I can't stand with politicians. They're a bunch of fucking hypocrites. There are some racist bastards on both sides. Don't get it twisted. Both sides. The PNC are worst. Oh, they're worst. Yes. The PNC pundits in America, they stepped it up. The fact that they lost massively, oh, they stepped it up. And yeah, they have joined the team. My life is even more difficult now. My life is even more difficult now. Because a lot of the PNC stronghold, a lot of the powerful blacks around, they're holding me responsible for what happened to the PNC and the PPP getting this massive win. You wouldn't think that there are many people like me who helped the PPP to win in that massive way. They're targeting me. Like I'm the only person who, no. So it's difficult now for me. Difficult. You understand what I am fucking sacrificing? So all these government officials and ministers and all these people now who are enjoying the sweets of my labor, I must continue to make them look good. And they forget that I even exist still. No, I'm sacrificing enough. Now it's about the people. Fuck the politicians. Now it's about the people. I am standing for the Guyanese people. I don't like what's happening. And more so this situation with this whole bombing thing. I don't like what's happening. Too many people are rushing to shut this down. Too many people are pushing to shut this down. I don't like what's happening. And I'm going to stay on it. I'm going to stay on it. because the real culprits are still at large. And it's bigger than this lunatic that they think they got. It's bigger than that. So guess what? I don't need your donations. I don't need your support. I don't need your donations. You don't even have to subscribe. Okay? None of that shit. You don't even have to do that. I am me, Dr. Prasad. And the name Prasad doesn't belong to any fucking religion or any ethnic group. It's a name. I don't need anybody's permission to use it. I told you folks before, I have a short fuse. Don't fuck with me. Don't do it. I have a short fuse. But you can bet your bottom dollar I would never be a racist. Never. You understand that? I will never be a racist. Nobody deserves that. To bring me to that level, to discriminate against anyone on the basis of their race. Nobody deserves that. So if you want to fuck with me, go ahead and fuck with me. I'm not going to come to your level to be racist against you. I am way too smart and way too elevated. And remember, my name is Prasad, your precious gift to the good citizens of Guyana. I will restore Guyana to Guyanese when the universe is ready for that. But for now, Guyanese, please use your common sense. I beg you, don't be slaves to politicians. And don't trust the people who are getting their money from the politicians. Understand they will say what they have to say, and they will do whatever they have to do to make those politicians look good, because that's where their money comes from. The fact that I'm not being paid, I can say whatever I want. Maybe when they start paying me, if I accept their payments, maybe then I'll say, oh no, if the politicians say that this thing is black, yeah, it's black. Look at it carefully. Look, it's black. Look at this. Yes. You see, look closely. It's black. Yeah, maybe then. If I'm that low, but I'm not a politician. I'll be the first president who's not a politician. You're getting scared, right? Oh my gosh, what's wrong with Dr. Prasad? No, my gosh, who got to him? Nobody got to me. I'm just upset. I'm sad. I'm upset. I'm fighting all the time for peace in Guyana. I'm talking about the scraps and the scrapes and the murderers and the thieves and the gang members and the robbers. And now we have to deal with terrorism. Now we have to deal with terrorists. You think it's easy? Terrorism, I told you before, it's not about race. It's hatred. It's not about race. Anybody can be a victim of terrorism. Anybody, rich or poor. That's my fear. And because of the slack system we have in Guyana, because of the Minister of Home Affairs, who again now, the man was a lunatic, now we have the woman now, who is there, she is there on behalf of the government, not to serve the people. She has to say and do and all kinds of stuff to make the government looks good, to protect the interest of the government. Nobody's serving the people. Okay? And on my next live, let me give you a preview. I want to talk about these ministers and their children. These ministers and their children. All of them. I want to deal with that. If that's the government salary, if that's the kind of life you can have with government salary as a minister, I'll deal with them on the next show. But for now, catch the real criminal. Bring the real criminal to justice that murdered that child, the real criminal. I rest my case.